and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be roasting myself from when I was 22. So I'm going to have a look at all my grad job applications from when I was applying to approximately 5,003,052 jobs in final year at university, and I got rejected from every single one except the current job I've got now, which is a place on the audit grad scheme at the Big Four. So yeah, pretty good one that I didn't get rejected from. But still, you know, there's a lot to be learned from everything I didn't do that well, and I want you guys to be the one to learn from it. So this video is actually inspired by another YouTuber, Simranjeet Kaur. She does a lot of really helpful, similar content for the legal field. So check her out if you're more interested in that avenue of work. I will link her channel up here. Can you tell I've got the right corners? That's right. I practice. Thankfully, I'm Hoarder level 5000 and I literally have every CV, every version of every CV I've got on hand, and also all my cover letters. So I'm gonna jump into my folder called grad job stuff and see what's in here. So what I ended up doing, because I did get rejected from a lot of chartered accountancy graduate schemes, which is primarily what I was applying for because I really wanted to do the chartered accountancy qualification, I started applying for kind of general commercial grad schemes, businessy focused grad schemes after I got rejected from approximately every accountancy firm in Scotland. So I've got a lot of those, and it was a lot of those places that required cover letters rather than the top 10 accountancy firms, for example, because from what I remember, I didn't really have to write cover letters for those. There was the possibility to attach a cover letter to your application, but I don't think this was the norm because I never really did it. I don't know if that's why I got rejected. So I haven't got that many Big Four related ones. So I did apply to a variety of banks and other professional services kind of companies. So I'm going to open up this first one, which was written in 2017. I'm already cringing a little bit. So I think I can already spot the first mistake I've made, and it's really not being specific enough to the company I'm applying for. So I've written, I'm applying to as I'm ambitious to work in the culture and environment that the firm offers. I haven't specified what exactly this is, and it's a very kind of boring first line to the cover letter as well, by the way. So that is definitely something I'm not happy with. I've also made up a word, multi-dimensionally. Yeah, that's not a word. Nice try, Dev. It's actually flagging as needing a spelling correction on Word, so I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I just thought I was better than Word. Clearly I didn't need a job, did I? Oh, something I've done really well in this. So surprisingly to not being specific at all in the first paragraph and not being specific to the firm culture that I'm trying to like big up, I've actually said, so with company name having 5 years of consecutive growth and a 7% increase in fee income as of last August. I'm actually quite surprised with myself, like did I actually write this? But okay. That is a really, really good kind of thing to do in cover letters, is to be as specific as possible. For example, I was trying to apply my experiences to potentially firm values instead of actual scenarios that the firm is involved in, actual initiatives that the firm is involved with. That kind of exemplifies that value rather than being quite vague. So the fact that here I've actually picked up on specific figures and what those specific figures mean is actually pretty good. Like, I'm impressed by my past self here. So after commenting on those figures, I've then gone on to say I'm also motivated by the success of the firm. So I think I've gone from like really specific, really good. I've said, so hey, you're growing and you're increasing in fee income, and this means there are going to be exciting opportunities for me. I've then gone on to say I'm only motivated by the success of the firm. So I feel like that's just an unnecessary sentence after saying the figures and why those figures are, you know, like attractive to me as a graduate. Something that I've done that I really like here is actually refer to a commitment that the firm made to a specific initiative regarding developing female entrepreneurial talent. So that is quite impressive as well. I'm glad I did that. But I have referred specifically to a news article highlighting this initiative and said that, you know, this is something that really inspires me, because obviously the fact that the firm would commit to driving female entrepreneurial talent is something that would attract female entrepreneurial talent. So describing my shared values there, using a specific initiative that I found through research, is something that is really good to include in cover letters and is a really good move away from being too generic and vague. So one huge mistake I've done now is I'm talking about the CA qualification, because the fact that you can study for a CA alongside working during this grad scheme is something I've obviously picked up on, and I'm trying to, this paragraph is basically me saying, hey, you guys offer a CA qualification. I've really wanted to do this for a really long time. It's going to benefit me in like this, and this way. That's probably quite useless for me to talk about, because they know that. That's why they're getting you to do the CA alongside your work, and that's why they're going to pay for you to do the CA. You don't really need to sell the fact that you really, really want to do it, because that is part of the job. What I wish I did here was maybe talk about why the CA is gonna benefit me, and how the qualification is really gonna improve my like technical abilities. For example, my abilities as a potential manager, the quality of my work, the quality of the work that would then be done for clients. So linking that through from like input, so doing the CA, inputting into all the work you're doing and what that's going to output into. So this one was kind of like, I would probably rank it like a 6 out of 10, because there were some parts that were really good, really specific, and then it kind of dropped off really quickly. So the bad definitely outweighed the good in this cover letter, which is maybe probably why I got rejected, even though I'm like ridiculously impressed with myself. You really forget how much work you put into all this stuff. Once you actually get a job, it's almost like all this effort, it compounds, it compounds, it compounds. You get the job and then it just kind of drops. Uh-oh. So first thing I've noticed by going into my cover letter for another company is that it's extremely similar to the one I just read. It seems like what I've done is basically copied and pasted the same CV and used it for different firms, added in firm-based facts and sentences. So that will explain why I put in a specific fact in the last cover letter and then it dropped off into really vague chat really quickly. This is actually a huge piece of advice I'd give you for if you're writing a cover letter. Make it super specific to the company. Do not have a boilerplate cover letter for all the companies that you apply for and you just kind of copy and paste in specific company facts, because me reading my cover letter just there for that previous company, I 100% was able to pick up that the specific facts definitely felt like they were slotted in and they didn't flow through the whole cover letter really well. They didn't actually lead to a proper conclusion or a proper fact being stated or a value of mine being tied in with the companies. It was just pasted in. So 100% do not recommend doing that. What was I doing? So yeah, so I'm basically reading the same cover letter here right now, except I've replaced the company name with this company name, and I've also done the exact same thing of putting in like a sentence relating specifically to the company and then having that drop off into vague chat again. God, what was I doing? I'm rambling a lot. So this specific cover letter had to answer 3 questions within it, and for each question I've basically written, how many words is this? I've basically written 500 words, which is a lot, and they are huge chunks of text. So I'm looking at this document and all I see is a chunk of text for each question. I would 100%, even now as a professional who writes multiple reports, memos, technical papers, chunks of text don't do anyone any good. You have to break things up into sentences that make an impact and that have value to what they're saying. There's no point in faff. There's literally just no point in faff. You might think that you're doing yourself a favor by making this cover letter look really nice and chunky and thick, but if that chunk is filled up with just like emptiness and no value provision, it's pointless. Like, it's pointless. Fancy Queen's English is not gonna win you any extra points with these cover letters. They just need to drive home what your skills are, where those skills come from, like what experience they come from, and how well you know the company and how well you can see yourself fitting into that company. That's what cover letters need to get at. So, okay, this cover letter is a bit of a flop because it's a copy and paste boilerplate template. I'm nervous for this one. So this is again another cover letter that has been divided up into answering a couple of questions. questions specified by the firm. So I can already tell, again, I'm doing that thing where I am writing sentences that are far too long. So for example, there's one question where I have to describe how I stand out from the crowd, and I've answered, professionally and academically, I have several personal achievements. A significant achievement in work for me is the fact that I have blah blah blah, and that is a waste of 20 words. So that could definitely just be cut down to, I have several personal achievements, one of which is blah blah blah, and then, you know, this shows how I stand out from the crowd because blah blah blah. This could be kept really succinct, and by being succinct you're also kind of emphasizing the experience that you're doing. It's just easier to read and it's less likely to be chucked out, which is probably what happened to these. So my answer to why I've chosen to apply to this particular firm and pursue a career within the specialism that I'm applying to, which was an audit graduate scheme, my answer is I'm attracted to this position as an audit grad because of the unique opportunities that a firm of this size offers. So what are those opportunities, Dev? Why are they unique? Why are you attracted to this position as an audit grad? I've just wasted a couple words, spoke extremely vaguely again, and used a sentence that could literally be applied to any firm that has an audit graduate scheme. I've also been super vague again, and I do think I was being super vague because I was applying for multiple grad schemes every week, and I probably thought I was saving myself time by having a boilerplate template, but clearly I've really shot myself in like all the feet. I've also written at the end of this paragraph, additionally, every opportunity I've had to interact with representatives of firm have been very positive, and firm have always been approachable when seeking advice or just to chat about the company. So while this probably is an alright sentence, I think it would be good if I specified how I found that out. So I likely spoke to like grads at a careers fair, or a lot of these firms hold like networking events and things at like restaurants and hotels. For example, I know the Big Four hold like little networking sessions for potential graduates, and if you do things like that, which I do recommend you do, you can get people's names, which I did mention in my Big Four graduate tips and advice video. So get people's names and you can actually mention them in applications. In this cover letter, I could have easily put, additionally, every opportunity I've had to interact with representatives of firm, such as, you know, this person that I spoke to at this event and they spoke about this and it was really helpful because of this. So, you know, being super specific is so beneficial here because it shows that, first of all, it's not a boilerplate template, and second of all, you did the work by going to this networking event and you've spoken to people at the firm, like you're reaching out and you're putting in that effort. I've got a couple more I could go through, but this video is probably going to get a tiny bit too long, so I'm going to cut it there and I'll probably do a part 2 because this was really fun. If you haven't noticed, I'm opening these up for the first time since like 2017, 2016. So these are like first time reactions. I'm definitely going to do a part 2 of this because it was super fun. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you gained a little bit something from this video. If you do want a part 2, let me know. I mean, I don't really have to make a second one, I could just read these in my own time, but yeah, let me know if I should make a part 2 down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you do want to see more videos like this, and don't forget to also turn on the notifications so that you'll know when I update either my blog or ask you guys any questions. So yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next week.